artistic success that you think it would be?
My wardrobe. Is this on? Is this on?
Yes.
It is? I can't hear it. No.
You have to turn it off.
No, I mean, they have as many free throws as we shoot a day. I mean, we shoot a ton of free throws a day. They make 100 free throws a day for us to shoot. 68% is not very good. Particularly when we had a lot of guys that I think are pretty good shooters. Miss a bunch of shots. Free throws. But I kept telling you, I think we can make shots. And I told you I think Nate can make shots. And obviously Aaron's made shots. And Gary's really worked at it. So we're going to be a better perimeter shooting team than we've been in a while. I think.
Bob, how do you get across to them and practice not to hand check like?
Well,
Obviously,
honestly,
the
I
others
thought we
did.
did a pretty good job in the first half. I don't, there was a couple. I mean, I thought that the block was a charge. I mean, I thought that was an obvious block. But they've got so much pressure on them to make sure that it is a block. And I mean, the last one, the guy fell into our guy. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Get out of the way when he's falling down on you? But there's just, I don't know. I think when you put that much emphasis on watching the guy guarding the ball, I think guys get away with travels because they're not watching their feet anymore. I think guys get away with palming the ball because they're not watching it anymore. I think this thing will eventually shake out to where, hopefully, that
Around tournament time?
well, hopefully, yeah, that they can kind of watch both. But I mean, Bob, I'm telling you, we are on them like nobody's business about and every time they put their hands on somebody that we notice, we're on them about it.
Does it feel like a different kind of game than what you've coached the last?
Well, you know what I said? I think it'll help beer sales tremendously. There'll be so much dead time. There'll be so much time to run to the fridge. You know what I mean? I mean, it's going to be that way for a while. And I think everybody recognizes it. I think the officials know it's going to happen. I think the supervisors, I think the guys in charge, they know it's going to take some time to try to do it. I wish, that we had the same kind of emphasis off the ball, because I don't think that we do. Now, we're supposed to, I think. But freedom of movement's freedom of movement. It just shouldn't pertain just to the ball.
I know you want your team to pass the ball more first, but if the calls continue this way, do you want guys to look a little bit more penetrating, knowing that maybe they are going to get the line more or have more space?
But you have to spread people first. You have to spread people first. So you can't just take it and drive it in there. I think what and just in the scrimmage in this game, it seems like they let more go, like people trying to block shots and do things than what they did before. And I think that's probably because that's what are you going to do? I mean, you can't just let them shoot a layup every time. So it's a work in progress. But I mean, all we can do is continue to do what we do and try to get them to move their feet and keep their hands off. And every time they put their hands off, bring it to their attention. Put their hands on rather, and bring it to their attention. And it's different. I mean, for years and years and years, you taught weak side help. Get the help, get the help, get the help, get the help. And now,
You had 65 fouls in this game, or close to it. When you get to the Big 12 and even more athletic players on both sides of the ball, bigger and stronger guys, you gonna have more of that?
well, hopefully, I think everybody will be better by then. Bob, I don't know. I honestly, I feel bad for the officials, which I never thought I'd ever say that. I can't believe it came out of my mouth. But, I mean, there's so much pressure on them to call hand checks. You know, and we talked to, you know, for how many years did they say we're gonna clean up post play? They never did, you know. But I think this is real. I think they're gonna keep calling it.
Coach, where's the give and take with a guy like Nate, where offensively, you know, he can make shots, help you spread the floor, but then I know you guys are obviously working with him defensively. What kind of give and take do you get with a young player like that?
Well, it's a fine line offensively in that we want Nate to shoot the ball, and I want him to know we want him to shoot the ball. But, you know, in the first half, he shot one, he fielded off his ankles. He's not making that. I mean, those don't go in, so don't shoot it. In the second half, against pressure, he shot one, he didn't have his feet under him, and it barely grazed the rim. And that's, from where he shot it from, that's a shot he makes at a very high percentage, but he didn't have his feet down. Don't shoot it, you know. But at the same time, I don't want him thinking I'm saying don't shoot, you know. Aaron Harris is such a good kid and such a competitive kid that he wants to win, but he can't force things to where he forces things into turnovers and, you know, bad shots and those kind of things. Now, you know, I think everybody realizes I'm not dumb enough to tell Aaron Harris don't shoot, but you know, that it's a fine line between take good shots. You know, I think the game still comes down to take all shots you think you can make. If you don't think, you know, you can make it, or, you know, it's a shot that you're not going to make, don't shoot it. And don't get out of the realm of what you are. You know what I mean? You know, you never saw Ray Allen making spin moves and dribble between his legs and step backs. And, you know, he did what he did. He came off of screens. He was maybe the best catch and shoot guy. Maybe he and Reggie Miller in years. But they did what they did, and great at it. And I think that's what we're trying to do. You know, but it's a fine line because sometimes then they think, well, he doesn't want me to do this. No, it's not that. It's not that at all. But when you get out of your comfort zone, you stand out in a negative way.
Right.
You know, it's like, why did he make the extra pass? Why did he fake the pass and shoot it and not pass the ball? Well, he shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Because I think if we had one guy who can shoot, but we don't. When we get Terry back, that'll be another guy who can make shots. So that one more pass becomes, you know, you pass up a good shot to get a better shot.
So did Nate do anything tonight that surprised you? I mean, he didn't just shoot the ball.
Who, Aaron?
No, Nate.
Nate? No, I mean, he pretty much played the way he's been playing in practice. I think the biggest difference, Dave, is that he's gained 30 pounds.
He's what?
He's gained 30 pounds. You know, when he broke his foot a year ago, he knew he had to get stronger, and he couldn't really run and shoot and do stuff, so he started lifting then, and then he got into it a lot earlier, I think, than what a lot of guys do. And he's gained 30 pounds. He's going to be a big guy. He's going to be a big physical guy before it's all over.
What's the deal with Terry?
I don't know. I mean, I can try to explain it to you, but then I'll be wrong, and then, you know, and then somebody will rip me and just Jeff Coyle probably would probably say, what the hell do you think he is, a doctor? We thought it was a stress fracture. Not we. I didn't. I don't know what it was. They thought maybe it may be a stress fracture, and
In what? Where?
his shin.
Shin?
I think below his knee, between his knee and his ankle somewhere.
Shin splints or something.
It was not shin splints. See, you're not a doctor either. Stick to what you do, Dave. Do not get out of your realm.
soon as you find it.
Yeah, you seem to make an ass out of yourself. You know, it wasn't shin splints either, but they thought it could be. But his muscles are inflamed.
So the prognosis right now is
Rest, nice and rest.
Mount St. Mary's is if, maybe.
I mean, and again, I'm not a doctor, but I did share a dressing room with Ernest Ainsley once. So I do believe I have some healing powers. But,
Can't believe I have trainers.
I forget what it's. No, I think he'll be good for Friday. I think.
Did you see anything from Remy tonight that would make you think he wouldn't play Friday? Or?
Well, I can't. I could have played him more, but he practiced yesterday for the first time, and I can't play a guy who hadn't practiced. It doesn't set well with me, and I know it wouldn't set well with everybody else that had practiced the whole time. You know, that's just, so now he's kind of sat there, and those other guys have played, so now we're back to square one, and if he deserves to play more minutes, he certainly will. But I think he'll be full go.
Freshmen are supposed to be freshmen, but Adrian seems a little bold, and I don't say that badly. I mean, he walked out and hit one right out of the gate and hit two pretty quickly, three-pointers. He didn't seem bashful or freshman-like at all. Is that fair to say?
But I mean, Bob, they're not dumb. I mean, look around. The only non-freshman on the front line is Kevin Noreen. So they know they have to play. They know they have to be productive. And we have spent a great deal of time talking about do what you're good at doing. And obviously Nate thinks he's pretty good at shooting threes, which I think we would agree he is. So you do what you do. And that's going to, when you talk about how big and physical the Big 12 is, which it is, somebody's going to have to better come out there and guard him. So, that drags those bigs away from the goal a little bit, too. Which is what KJ did for us, in all honesty. He drug those bigs away from the goal because he could make threes.
Bob, were you relieved at all to see your guys make shots, or is that something that, because you'd maintained that it was going to happen, so it did not matter?
You couldn't tell how relieved I was.
I only saw the back of your head, so it's kind of difficult. I just thought you hadn't made it. You were very consistent. We'll make them, and today you did.
But Mike, I see them every day.
Right.
So they do make them.
Mm-hmm.
They make them every day in practice. So, we'll do that. The 50 and 5 deal, and we'll have Nate will make in the high 60s, and Aaron makes in the high 60s, and when Terry's he'll make in the high. Gary Brown shot the ball really well. I told you guys that Gary Brown has put in a ton of work. So we're going to shoot it better, right? Wani's shooting it better. He missed some shots, today that normally, he's been making those in practice. I think he'll, kind of put his head down. I told him, that's a good shot, man. Shoot the ball.
What does Devin do well that gets him double figures in rebounds, and have you been seeing that consistently in practice?
Genetics. He got a great body now. He's got a great body, big wide shoulders. He's got good hands.
Is it a work thing also?
He's always
going
done
after
it. Devin, I've known Devin for, since he was a freshman at Withrow. He's always rebounded the ball. And that's just kind of his. He's like Kevin Jones. Kevin Jones has always rebounded the ball.
Is that his role right now? Is that what you need?
Well, we'd like for him to score a little bit on the block. I think he can. He made the one nice move down there, and then he got, he made it was a good spin move. He just got his arm out there, but he can do some things down there.
Anything else? Coach, how impressed are you with Jared, the way he's been able to build Fairmont State in his second year?
And don't forget, I'm the one who told him to hire him. Jared has been consumed with basketball since I've known him. And Jared was smart enough to get involved in AAU and coach in AAU, where he could get out and network and meet people and meet guys that are going to have players. And I mean, he's worked at it, and I think it's certainly paid off for him. And some of those guys do that, and all they do is do that, because they think then they're going to be great recruiters. But he's worked at learning basketball. I think, in all honesty, I think sometimes he helped with us in film and stuff. And, when you do that, not so much here, but before, when you do that, I think that's great preparation, because you see everything. You see everybody in the league, what everybody runs, what everybody runs, when they run it, why they run it. I think it's great preparation.
Thanks, Coach.